Okay, we should be getting started here. So there we go. Chat is working today. All right, I'm going to throw out a little message online and let's get into this. So right now, I do say this has been an epic day so far. Anybody that's been watching and paying attention to what Tesla has been doing today, it is pretty shocking. So I was planning on trying to get in at the lows of the morning. Had my order in. Still gonna let it hang there. I think this is a bunch of overhype right now. I think we're gonna come back a little bit, but 440.50, if it can drop back down, I'll get a couple shares. I don't know, I think everybody's super excited about this new price, so it's had another epic run. I mean, leave it to Tesla to 5x the shares on hand and still have epic runs. So, you know, nothing's changed there. Right now, I'm really interested to see if we get up and tap that 500 and see where we close for today. So just watching what's happened in the last little bit as I've been out running errands today, it's holding strong. So, you know, we are very likely that we're going to get up there. So I had a ridiculous amount of alerts set that all went off today after all these changes happened. So I'm gonna have to reset a bunch of things, get everything going. Looks like all my messages are not there, but if we pop over here to see how many alerts I had set up, yeah, those all got triggered when so that was bad planning on my part, but you know, got to get used to the new changes. So right now I'm kind of waiting to see how this first day closes out and then what after hours does. I was looking at thinking of being confident enough to throw out a sell on like right where we had opened, but out of that morning drop kind of got me nervous. I wasn't sure how people were going to really take this, if they were going to buy like we were hoping they would, or if a lot of people that had shares looked at this as an opportunity to start cutting down their position, taking some profits, which is totally smart to do. But I was not 100% confident in the trade plan that I had made earlier today. So right now I've just been watching some things, see how the day actually plays out. So I'm actually curious to see wow. So that's just unreal. There's been almost 1.5 million calls traded on Tesla today. We're getting close to 800,000 puts. So this may be the biggest option day ever. I don't know. That's going to be something we might have to look up. But 2.2 million contracts traded today. That's the biggest number I've ever seen. We'll just say that. So, like I've said before, I usually like to look at the probability of something to be out of the money. I seem to have much better luck when oh sorry, I got distracted by something saying bit rate is higher than recommended. So we might need to make some tweaks here. Hold up just a moment. See if I can figure out how to do this. Okay. Bit rate. So let's try that. Okay, we'll see what it thinks of that, but as of right now, no idea. So anyways, if anybody does pop in here, just let me know if it looks like it's kind of functioning okay. This is still trial and error at this point until I get better at it and get a few more under my belt. So just to lay out a bit of a plan for today though, seeing how we've run up and held these points, I'll be really watching this 470. If we drop under 470, it might be a pretty good sign that some weakness is coming in, maybe not as many confident people. I really think that we're just going to run up for the rest of the week though. So I don't know. Without knowing what's going to happen, then again, I said the exact same thing last week, that not knowing what was going to happen and people being unsure of how the split was going to affect their shares, like people thinking that if they bought any last week they would not get the split adjusted shares. We saw some weakness at the beginning of the week and finished up really strong. I ended up Thursday, I believe, Thursday, market overall took a pretty good hit, and I was able to get in and got a quick in and out trade on that and made a couple $100 just kind of testing an idea, see if it would work on a different day besides a Monday. What I like to do with selling option premium, it's always more likely to sell at a higher price at the beginning of the day. So I like to watch this first 30 minutes of the day. Oop, too far. So I have started seeing some pretty consistent initial run, sell off hard, and then about 8:40, right between 35 and 45, usually around my time. I'm in Central, so about 8:40 for me, about 9:40 Eastern. There's usually almost always a good run up after that first 15 minutes. It's kind of ridiculous. So trying to figure out a good plan to capitalize on that, but right now I ended up having a really good August for me. Actually, best month I think I've ever had since I started really learning the market. So I'm kind of riding on that, I did good kind of high, and now I'm getting really nervous, like I know I'm due for a loss. So I wasn't even going to make a trade last week, but the setup that kind of presented itself was too good, and I just got in pretty quick, in and out, and quick $600 and called it good. And I was the most frustrating thing is the plan I had for this morning would have worked out beautifully at this point, but now I've waited too long into the day, and I'm not gonna risk it by just randomly throwing up something to see what might happen. I'm also thinking that with this new adjusted price, and with the fact that the brokers are doing a pretty good job at this, no fee trades, I'm going to try to look back at the historical data and see what day of the month Tesla is usually at its lowest, and buy one or two shares on the normal lowest day of the month, and just start building my position up one or two shares at a time. And if I'd have went in this morning instead of waiting to see how things shook out after those first super volatile 10-15 minutes, it would have been up $50 already per share. That's just kind of crazy. So I don't know, you study something long enough, you kind of get to knowing what's going to make an actual effect on it. So right now, I've been trading Tesla for about a year and a half, I guess. For sure, all the last year. And, you know, like this trade I got set up right here, which is selling the 455 put and then buying the 445 to put in a little bit of protection in case it does have a super drop, which is pretty much the only thing that saved my account back in February when all the corona news first happened. That wiped me out. This last week I just got back all the way dug out of the hole I was in and way into the green for the year. So, but if we look here, the 455 put is now at 74%. When I was first looking at this, it was around I want to say 63%, and the credit, which right now they're only showing $1.62, they were actually closer to $3. So what I was hoping to do was play with that one. If it got up and ever tapped 360, which my alert hasn't gone off, so we haven't even got there yet. But if it did that, I was going to try to sell a few just to have something in the game this week. Do smaller trades this week and try to keep them quick in and out. We'll see how the close does, but ideally, if we stay up here, I think we're going to have one of these over exuberant run-ups, and we're going to push up and either close right at 500, like just right either precisely at 500 or, you know, a couple cents over under, or what's happening right now, there's going to be an end of the day sell-off from all the day traders. So most day trading accounts, I don't know if you don't know this, but most day trading accounts give you a wider margin to use during the trading day, but then it's like halved overnight. So a lot of day traders, if they got a good profitable position, but they used up all their buying power, they'll sell off most or at least half of that position so that they don't get dinged by their brokerage overnight when their buying power gets cut in half and it looks like they overextended their account. So some of the downsides of buying on margin, but usually the last 15 to 20 minutes of a strong day, you'll actually end up seeing that there will be a pretty hard drop right at the end of the day. So I'm betting if that happens, I think we'll close down maybe here around 494ish. But I got a pretty good feeling that there's going to be a lot of people rush in and FOMO this thing up right up to the 500 line at the end of the day. So if we do hold that, what I'll probably look at doing tomorrow is bumping this up here, possibly selling the 480 put and buying the 470, so that's a $10 wide strike. So man, I could go into options learning for a while if you want to, but right now they're showing that to be worth $3.22 right now. So it would pretty much mean you got, what would that do it in my head real quick, $6.80 of risk per trade. So say you sold it at $3.25, right now you would be making $325 per contract, but at the same time you're going to be risking the other part of that $10 wide spread. So quick little calculator so I can be correct. So you take in $325, you could possibly lose $675. So what I like to do is find something like, if I'm doing a $5 wide spread, shoot for something right in the middle. So try to get $2.50 out of it. Or if I'm doing a 10 wide spread, try to get $5 out of it. Hence the order that I got hanging out down here. It is to sell that 440, 430 at 510. I should have put that order through a few minutes earlier. I waited a little bit too long. Systems seemed like all the brokerages were moving kind of slow this morning, so lose out on one day. One thing I finally learned is to not not get too frustrated. If you lose one trade, there's going to be more setups. So I ran up, tried this 470, 460 when this initial drop happened right here. We had come back down. Oh, look, when I was out running errands, we got another good drop. So I might have got filled right there. So another reason to not be too impatient and scratch your trade. So playing the way I do it, it's a patience game for sure. But like I was saying, if we hold strong here, I may look at trying to sell, in the first 15 minutes of the day, if I could get $5 out of the 480, 470, and then it has another strong day and keeps running up tomorrow, what I would look to do is buy it back later that day for at least $4, so I would make $100 per contract. I usually do anywhere from 2 to 5. Soon I might be stepping back up to 7. I got hurt earlier this year because I ended up doing 10 contracts, and the week that the corona news hit and it dropped so hard I couldn't roll out of it, it was horrible. But I learned a lot out of it, and I'm back going strong here. So dug out of that hole, learned a lot, got a better game plan going. So usually this late in the day I won't open a position unless something is really beautifully set up, and right now it's just being strong. So nothing there. Man, look at that. We're getting there. Ooh, it might happen. Oh, this is going to be fun. So of course it's going to get up there, and then I'm going to feel like a ding dong for trying to squeeze $2 more out of a buy position, and instead of just getting in at 843 or wow, waiting until 840, I should have just jumped in at 445, which was my kind of mental max I wanted to pay this morning. So I thought we would drop back down here to these pre-market lows, and figured if we got down to at least 439, I should get my 440.50 cent order filled. But no. So I put this in right here when we were dropping down on that candle. Thought we'd have maybe one more little push of weakness, and then we take off. I was really thinking this right here was not going to happen until about 8:45, and by that point we were already about to crack 455 and then be going. Man, there's too many fives in today's numbering. So, but sometimes that's the fun of it. You see what numbers make sense. So I like knocking out things that have sevens in them. So for some reason, fours are terrible for me. So oh, we did it. Ha! Wow. What? So TD is having problems when it goes over your alert price, but your alert does not go off. So it looks like we just had a high of $500, 14 cents. All right, rock on. Man, that's the greatest thing about following Tesla. It's never boring. There's always something pretty epic happening. You know, I'm pretty excited about the news that they are possibly going to go to the black trim on the Model 3. You know, that could seriously get me to stop waiting for the Cybertruck and go ahead and get the Model 3. Wow, look at that volume. I don't know if anybody has noticed the volume, but today we're over 110 million shares traded. This is an absolute epic day so far as size. Let's see, just to compare, let's bounce away from them real quick. Nikola, the other fun one, you know, they're rocking out 10 million shares today. And I mean, what is even that? What is that even supposed to be? It's just, bah. You know, keep an eye on it, really just to have something to laugh at on a normal basis. But man, look at that chart. See, now that's a beautiful chart right there. That's what you want to see. Oh man. Oh man. What do you think? My last couple Monday predictions, I've been pretty close at calling the closing price. I bet we stay right at that 500, or we're gonna drop real fast the last 2 minutes, and we're gonna come down close to 495. So we'll be in this range when we close today. It's gonna be, it's exciting. I can't wait. Can't wait until my Cybertruck is built and I can start sharing all that with you guys. I have got another good idea. So I have not cleaned my truck that I drive in I don't even know how many years. Way too many years. But what I'm thinking I'm going to do is pull all the junk out of my truck and set it all up on some shelves and film it and be able to show how much stuff you actually, or I personally, would not need once I get the Cybertruck. Like all the extra oils and chemicals that you kind of got to carry around. Just the age of my truck, I kind of got to have a few things just in case. And you know, when I get more time after, hopefully within the next month and a half, you know, the grass will stop growing as strong and I won't have to put as much of my weekend into keeping up with yard work. And at that point, I'm going to make a couple more Cybertruck videos for you guys. I've got some really fun plans just to show how actually functional this thing is going to be. Like, it's truly going to change what everybody thinks of a utility vehicle. So oh man, we're getting close. We're getting close, man. So my sister also lives down in Austin now, so one of my plans is, once my truck number comes up and they give me a date when it's going to be finished, I might just go on down to Austin and tour the facility, hang out on the grounds, and pick it up there. And probably wouldn't trailer it back, but we'll see how things shape up after battery day. I'm truly expecting that the ranges that they announced when they unveiled the truck are going to be the low end. Like if you were towing at maximum capacity or you had maximum payload weight on your vehicle, that the ranges given at the unveiling will be the rated ranges under those conditions. That's why I went with the dual motor for now. If we find out the tri-motors are going to end up being made first, I kind of read it as dual and tri-motors are going to come before single motors, but there's nothing that has actually specified that tri-motor is going to be made before dual motor. So I think they might start with the dual and then bring the tri-motor in, I don't know. We'll just have to see. But hopefully I can edit my order and get it a little bit sooner. My truck right now is just it's had its time, so it's about ready to give up. Oh, what'd I say? Last couple minutes, we get those sellers come in, and they like to push it back down. But then Tesla has so many people that are finally excited about it. Oh, they're coming in, yes, and they just keep buying it up. Man, I should almost buy a share right now just to say I got some on the first day after the split, but I don't know. I just feel like later this week it's due for at least a little bit of a sell-off. Usually that happens earlier in the days or about midday through the trading day, as you can see back here. Let's see, let's zoom out a little bit. So yeah, morning volatility, which is completely normal. Then we have a good run up, and then some sell off, consolidate, sell off. But instead of it tripping up, bounced off that 200. Really, that's a strong moving average right there. So kind of bounced off that and the VWAP, and ripping on up. So look at that, just like I was saying. So end of the day, we do get more sellers come in, and they like to push it down. They got to get out of those positions. You usually see volume start picking up quite a bit. Although this is just a ridiculously high volume day. Man, let's see what that options looking. So see, even now that's dropped from, it was fluttering around the 320s earlier, and right now it's down 305. So yeah, that's going to be one that I want to watch. Let's see here. So I'm going to create an alert here, and I'm going to want to know when this thing, does it ever get up and hit that $5? Like I said, the $5 on a 10 wide strike, that's what I like to watch. Let's see if we shrunk this down and made it a 5 wide strike. We're at $1.55, $1.70, kind of bounce around there. So when I do a 5 wide, I usually try to get $2.50 out of it. You know, gives you a 50-50 chance of losing money or making money. So most options do expire worthless, so I'm playing the bet. Oh, here we go, last minute, and we're down to the last candle. Man, it didn't get as hard of a sell-off as I was expecting, but here goes those last minute of the day buyers. They're coming in. Oh man, nobody's in here to chat with me. Somebody could have talked me into buying at least 1 or 2 shares live. We might do that next week. I think next week it'll calm down a little bit, and I might start buying in then. So I had a really good August. I think I'll wait for a little more consolidation, see if we come back down to that 450, 440 range, and start buying in my shares. Then I'm trying to decide if I want to do 1 or 2 a month, or just get 5 or 6 a quarter. Still playing with the ideas here. So 3, 2, 1. Oh, 98.34. So let's see what it ends up. They keep, okay, so they're giving it 498.32 closing price. You know, a little weaker than I was expecting, but I mean, I'm fairly close. Figured we'd be between 495, 494ish, and right around 500. So a little lower than I was hoping for, but strong day. Oh hey, I was going off on a tangent there. So thanks for stopping in. Just to give you a heads up, I trying to start doing this the last 30 minutes of market being open on Mondays. Like I work Tuesday through Saturdays, so Mondays I'm usually around, and I like to see how the market closes. So I'm usually here every day or every Monday, anyways, and figured I'd go ahead and do some live streaming, and anybody that wants to come hang out and see how the stock closes, see what news pops up over the weekend, kind of anything to talk about. But shooting for, I'm in US Central Time, so 2:30 my time. Easier to say just the last 30 minutes or so of market being open. So I'll be here, and we'll be getting this on a pretty consistent basis. So I think I finally got the settings figured out, and we'll go from there. But I think it's kind of fizzled out for the day. Looks like people are going to just keep trading it all day. It's going to be interesting if we can get over 500 in the after hours. I got a feeling we will. I think a lot of people that may believe that they missed out during the trading day are going to get home, get on their after hours with their broker and start bidding it back up. Like right now, we just did it again. There just went some 500 trades, and a whole bunch of them are going through now. Wow. So yeah, people are still playing it. Man, I've never really played after hours or pre-market. Just seems too volatile, and can't trade options. Mostly what I do is I trade options, so I use what happens in after hours and pre-market to kind of pick some levels, and then I'll go from there and plan out the trades that I want to sell. But well, I think it's going to end up having a nice little run here after hours. We might get up, even hit that upper standard deviation band. That would be impressive. So I think for now I'm going to head out. I've got some other errands to do this afternoon, and if you liked hanging out, come on by next week. Like I said, every Monday for the last 30 minutes of the trading day, I plan on being out here, and we'll just keep going at it. So thank you guys, and we'll see you next week.